Happy New Year, my friends. Welcome to the first video of 2024. Today's video is part one of a 4-part series, and this series is Reset for 2024 with me. So part one, your first challenge is we are going to be decluttering our entire home in 60 minutes or less. So if you are completely new to decluttering or even resetting your home, this challenge is going to be perfect for you. We are going to keep things really simple, really quick and basic, and we are just going to be going into each room of our homes and setting a timer for 10 minutes. Now, we are going to be decluttering as much as we can within 10 minutes, and even if you feel like you are not done within 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. You are going to let go of it all and move on to the next room. I have done a big declutter quite recently. If you are an old subscriber, you would be aware of that. So for me, I'm probably not going to be spending the full 10 minutes in each room decluttering because I pretty much know everything that is in my house already. But if you have not decluttered in a long time, or if this is something new to you, then 10 minutes I thought was a good time frame to set yourself to get it all done. As I mentioned, this is part one of a 4-part series. So first up, we are going to declutter. In our next video next week, we are going to be cleaning. In video 3, we are going to be doing a digital declutter, and then part 4 is going to be organizing. So if you are new here, please subscribe if you want to be a part of this challenge. Like this video, and also if you are going to do this challenge, let me know in the comments below so that we can support each other and egg each other on. So before we get started, if you are new to decluttering, there are 3 piles that I want you to be making in each room. Pile 1 is your throw out pile. I have my rubbish bag here. This is where all the rubbish is going to be. Of course, I'm going to be picking up actual rubbish, which is probably what is going to be the majority of what goes in here. But items that are too used up and too gross or incomplete to donate, we're just going to throw them in a rubbish bag. So first up, you need a rubbish bag. Second is a donate pile. So that is why I have my tub here. Everything that is well enough to donate, I am going to stick it in this tub and then go and put it in my garage where my big box of donation items live for next time when I go past a op shop. Now, the last pile that we're going to be making in today's declutter is a store pile. So this pile is going to be items that don't belong in your room, items that you don't have a use for in this period of the year. So for example, maybe you have some Christmas items that are still lying around. That would be part of the store pile. So if you need to get another tub for that, then go and grab one of those now as well. And then those are the 3 piles. Usually I would do a maybe pile where I would have another tub that I just keep stored away for a month max. That's my own personal time limit. But for the sakes of this challenge, we are not going to be doing a maybe pile. The reason why is because I want you to be going through each room with the mindset of heck yes or heck no. I do not want you to think too long about it. So if you see something and you aren't sure about whether you want to keep it or not, my personal advice is get rid of it, because if it's not a heck yes, it's likely a no. And sometimes we can talk ourselves into keeping items because we're not too sure. And like I said, usually you would stick this in a maybe pile, but listen, it is 2024 now. We don't have time for that. We just want to get things on a roll. And so if you're not sure about an item and it costs less than $20 to replace, my advice is to just donate it. Don't even think about it. Don't look at it. Chuck it in that donation bin and move on. So with that, if you guys are doing this challenge right now, go and grab all your 3 tubs. You need a rubbish bag, a donation tub, a store tub, and yeah, I think we are ready to do this. So I'm going to put through a voiceover. We're just going to be going through each of my rooms. This is going to be really raw. This is my actual house, so you're going to see clothes everywhere, dirty dishes, dirty floors. No shame here, guys. I'm trying to be a bit more authentic in my videos lately, and part of that is just getting up a video regardless of what my house looks like. So with that, let's get started. it is time to set your timers for 10 minutes and let's get started. So this is my own side drawer. I tend to put a lot of random things in here, like when I clean my face, I would just chuck the dirty face wipes in there. It's kind of gross, but that's just what I do. So I did go through my own areas in my bedroom. I highly recommend that you do not touch other people's stuff, like your partners, or if you have older kids especially, maybe skip doing their own rooms unless they give you permission, because I have learned the hard way, unfortunately. So I do find a few items and then I went into my desk. Now, I do like to keep my desk quite minimal with the amount of stuff I have. And so everything I am checking out is random bits and bobs that I have held on to for a long time just in case I needed them, but it was definitely time to let them go. Won't she turn around? Sometimes you will find me sorting through areas where I don't actually find anything. I just thought for the sakes of this video not to make it too short that I would just show you guys those bits. But when I go into my closet, I do find a few more items that have just been sitting there. If you have anything that you have not touched in more than 6 months, then I highly recommend letting them go. I am done. That took me 7 minutes and 10 seconds, 7, 8, 9 to get done. I like showing you guys what I find in the room. So I have a pile back then. It's just a nursing bra and like a warm set. It's really hot here in Australia at the moment, so that is my storage pile. In here I have a candle to donate, this bra that I find uncomfortable. I have a cord that works sometimes, but it still works, but it's really old, and I have heaps. A hand cream I have never used and probably never will. A phone case for an old phone we had, and then just this little thing here. That is how fast things can get done. And the good thing with having a timer is it really creates a sense of urgency, so that you're not umming and ahhing, you're not thinking about things, you're just rushing around and grabbing everything you can. So with that, let's move on to the next room. Now it's just like miles, and I've only ever fit inside the shadows. This is my daughter's nursery. She is nearly 4 months old, and while this area may seem quite messy, there's actually not a lot of excess stuff. She has no drawers in this room, and so I keep pretty much everything she has other than her clothes in this little change table shelf. So I do have a whole bunch of face cloths that I use to clean her and for other purposes throughout the home, but for the time being I am keeping them. I do end up finding a few little bits and bobs here and there, but again, there's not much because as you can see, her room is quite minimal already. The nursery is done. I did that in 1.5 minutes, and that's including me turning the camera. So basically, the nursery is really simple, really minimal, and I love it that way. My girl has grown bigger, so I have one piece of clothing that needs to go into storage that she can't fit anymore. And I do have these little bits and bobs that I am going to donate because I'm probably never going to use these. We are in my kitchen. I already know that I am going to be using up the entire 10 minutes. I have a feeling it's not going, there's always a fly every time I film in the kitchen. I already know it's not going to be enough time to get it all done, but I will do my best, and I'm going to spend the majority of this time in my pantry sifting through and finding all of the items that are probably expired. We have had to go down to the Gold Coast a lot of times for complications with my baby, and so a lot of this food in here is likely off. I'm just going to be pouring it all out into the rubbish bin, chucking the containers up there to wash later on, and hopefully by the end of this we have a nice clear reset pantry. If you have not gone through your pantry recently, then I highly recommend starting with the pantry because it is likely going to be your biggest area other than your fridge. And also, if you get your pantry done and your cupboards done earlier than 10 minutes, I highly recommend you jump into your fridge and do a quick declutter of that as well. For me, I know that I don't have too much excess in my pantry. I like to check over what I have every single week, and so I was able to do this under 10 minutes. However, if you have never decluttered your pantry before, then you're probably going to take up the entire 10 minutes in this area, and that's totally okay. If you know that your pantry is hectic, but your cupboards are also hectic, maybe set aside another day later on in the week to do your cupboards, and today focus on your pantry, or vice versa. I did have this old shopping list that I have tried to use, but it just was not working out for me. And at this point in time, I go check all my cupboards, but like I said earlier, I have recently done a massive declutter, and so I did not have many spare items at all. I keep forgetting to put the timer on, but I would estimate that probably took just over 10 minutes, probably around 12 minutes. I was fiddling around with the camera a lot, but I found some old nuts and seeds that I just chucked out. I have some breast milk bags that I am going to be putting into storage. I am no longer breastfeeding, but who knows, Lord willing, I'm probably gonna have more kids, so into storage that goes because they are expensive. These are my pump pieces that I'm also going to store away. And then this is like a little fly spray. It's so useless. And I found some cat food. Our cat ran away while we were down on the Gold Coast. Really sad, but yeah, now I have no use for this. So I'm about to go into random areas of my home that I already knew on the top of my head needed a bit of a sift through. For example, here is my shoe bucket. This is where we store our excess shoes. I knew there were some old rugged shoes that my kids needed to give away. I actually found a pair of thongs that was broken even, so I'm really happy those are gone now. And then I also went through my junk drawer. So my junk drawer stays at the front of our house where our entryway table is, and I just quickly sifted through everything. Anything that was my husband's I kept in case he needed it, but for everything else I just threw out the rubbish, and I pretty much left the junk drawer the way it was. There was no organizing. It is not the time to organize, guys. Don't get sidetracked. Just declutter what you can. And of course, don't forget to put everything back so that you're not left with a massive mess. I have a bunch of glass, really good quality Christmas tree baubles and ornaments, but for whatever reason, I give up on them. They are just too heavy, and when I put them on my tree, it like pulls the branches down so that it doesn't even look nice anyway. That plus the fact that they don't have the original hangers, and like I have a lot of kids. I have 5 kids who are under 6 years old, so glass doesn't really do well on our tree, so I'm just going to donate these, and then I'm pretty much done. I am going to put them into that box. I was wanting to sell them. They are up on Facebook Marketplace. It's been a few days now and there has been no interest, so I think I'm just going to go and give them away to the op shop, and hopefully maybe an older couple or a family who has older kids will be able to enjoy these because they are really, really beautiful. I'm pretty sure they're from Pillow Talk, and they're like, you know, they're quite expensive. I also have these ones. They are beautiful, but again, they're ceramic. They're too heavy for our tree and too unsafe with little kids. Alright, this is the last thing I'm going to be doing. I will remember to set my timer, but we're going to go through my cords box. I have actually carried this box around with me since me and Alex got married. That is 7 years ago. It is time to get rid of it all. So timer is on. Let's get started. At this point, you are probably wondering, how come I am not actually decluttering my entire house? Now, here's the thing, I actually am. These are the last few areas that I actually needed to declutter because everything else in my house is clear and clutter-free because I've been doing this for so long. It honestly has taken me about 5 years of constant decluttering to get to this point. So if you are not there yet, do not worry, you will get there. Just keep going and keep trying. And doing little challenges like this can really help you create a habit and implement decluttering as part of a lifestyle instead of just allowing things to build up and then getting really overwhelmed when you have too much. I'm laughing at myself because my timing skills have been horrible, but I did actually see or estimate how long it took for me to do each of those things. My bedroom took 8 minutes, the nursery took 3 minutes, the kitchen was about 12 minutes, the junk drawer was about 2 minutes, and the cords took me 5 minutes. So all up, that took me less than 30 minutes to do every room in my house. Now, yes, I did not do our bathrooms, I did not do our toys, and I have not done a few other areas like our laundry and my boys and my girls' room. And here's the reason why. I know every single piece of item that is in those areas because I have done a recent big declutter like I shared with you guys, and other than the items that have come in from Christmas, there is nothing else that is in there. So I know I don't need to go into those areas. Everything in those cabinets there, I know that we need and that we use. Same with my little caddy here. So those are the areas that needed to get done, and I'm so happy I got it done. So with that, thank you so much for joining me in this challenge. Let me know down below how long it took you to declutter your entire house. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week for my cleaning video, and it's going to have the same sort of theme. We're going to be dedicating 10 minutes to each cleaning job so that within 60 minutes our whole house is fresh and clean for this new year. Bye friends.